and welcome to another Let's Play of Eldfall Chronicles. We are back with, once again, the Restoring Balance campaign, and this time our party, after they have rested, this is the reason why both Bushi attendants are back to health, and also the normally dead clan champion, or incapacitated clan champion, is back at full health. And the goal of this quest, we are currently in an antechamber where the earth element in the middle created the other hostiles. And currently curiously in this quest, there is no defined goal, which is interesting. The special about this quest is that you have two caches, and if you make an interact action with them, you roll a d20 and you can get different upgrades from something called Earthbreaker Bomb, which is a one-time use with a small circle area of effect and a power of 16, which is consumed afterwards, up to a Scroll of Superior Mending, which fully restores HP to a target model with a construct trait, or fully fixes target obelisk and mechanisms. Otherwise, you can gain +1 victory points, additional protection, which is simply an upgrade, or a tier 1 hostile spawns in base contact and +2 victory points. So basically these caches are random loot blocks. Otherwise, since there is no other goal except in the description of the quest, is that there is an open rift or an open gate. So I assume, and this is how I will play it, that the party has to pass once again through the gate. And it is quite repetitive compared to the other first two, where also open the gate, then jump through it, go through the gate once again, or other way around, jump through the gate, open the rift, and then jump through the gate, and again jump through the gate. So I don't think that this quest is particularly interesting, but all this said, let's jump right into the game. As you can see, I already prepared the party, and I will start this time with this Bushi attendant at first, who will walk 5 inches up to here, turning a little bit around so that he has this gargoyle still in view, and he will try to attack the gargoyle while the gargoyle will try to evade. The clan champion uses the evasion tactics to increase all the agilities by 2, just so that you know. White die, sorry, I put it the other way around. White die is the gargoyle, black die is the Bushi attendant. Since this is a dodge, there's no contestant. The Bushi attendant managed to hit with a 12, the 18 is a miss, and the 40 of the gargoyle means that it is unable to dodge, so it will be hit, walking 2.5 inches up to the attacker. And now the Bushi attendant with a power of 13 minus the armor of 5 needs an 8 or less to wound. With a 20, that is not enough. Next, the same Bushi attendant activates again. Once again, walks up to 5 inches, risking to be attacked by the golem in the next turn. But first of all, shooting at the gargoyle. This was a horrendous roll. With a 17 and a 14, he fails to hit the gargoyle, but since the gargoyle used a dodge action, once again it is allowed to come a little bit closer to the Bushi attendant. Next, I think I will activate the other Bushi attendant, who will walk 5 inches up to here and try to shoot the defenseless gargoyle. Come on. 9 and a 7, 2 hits. One of these needs to be an 8 or less. It's a natural 1 and a 20, and with this, the gargoyle is destroyed. As opposed to the other quests, here the hostiles do not respawn, at least the quest doesn't say so, therefore I will assume that this is true and they will not respawn. Next, let's go with the clan champion, who will just check the range, who will call a dash action, since that's one of his skills, to get within 2 inches of the golem. And once there, he will attack the golem, who in return will respond by dodging. And he has speed of 3, therefore only half an inch away from the clan champion. The clan champion has 2 attacks because of his stamina, 1 attack for arms muscle and his active turn, and he will use second wind, fencing 3, to get a 4th attack. While the golem would try to dodge with his agility of 6. Let's see what happens. That's again a horrendous roll. The natural 20 of the golem means he doesn't dodge anything, but with 2 17s, an 18 and a 20, the clan champion completely fumbles. And with this, there is no hit. So, since the clan champion is not engaged, he will just walk again away so that he's once more within 2 inches. And this embarrassing performance, hopefully he doesn't repeat it. The golem again dodges up to half an inch. Let's see what happens now. The 18 of the golem means that that he is unable to dodge. Come on, let's get into focus. I'm not sure why my camera doesn't focus right now. Otherwise, we have once again a 17 and an 18 who do not hit, and a 2 and 8 who does. So with this, he now has a toughness power of 13. The golem has an armor of 8, 5 or less to wound. 7 and 15, nothing. Next, I will activate the Kitsune Spellmaiden, who will walk her 6 inches. And also, she will try to cast Burning Resolve at the clan champion. With a 12, she successfully does so. So he gets an activation point back. Just a small interlude. I positioned the party here so that the Earth Elemental is unable to see them and not hurl any rocks at them. And with this, the clan champion will activate again. Walk a little bit closer here towards the wall. Okay, I checked the recording and sorry for that you missed the last few rolls. These are the attempts to hit to wound the golem, so 19, a 20 and a 6 as I mentioned. And with this, the clan champion absolutely fails to put a dent onto the golem, which is an opportunity for this clan champion, who will walk 6 inches, not to here, because it is better to protect the Kitsune a little bit from the gargoyle at the far end. And with this, he's still within sight of the golem, so therefore 2 attacks shooting at the golem, a 16 and a 4. With this, the 1 attack hits, and with a 19, it's absolutely no damage. The Kitsune walks a little bit closer, activates again, and she tries to cast Burning Resolve once more at the clan champion. 14 was successful, and the clan champion will immediately activate and try to attack the golem. 4 strikes, and natural 1, which is great. Then 20 is a fail, and the 15 and 5 are normal hits. The normal hits needing a 5 or less. It's a 14 and a 13. And the natural 1 only needing a 13 or less. It's a 10, and all this effort to put 1 wound on the golem. So with this, the first turn of the party resulted in a destroyed gargoyle and only a single wound on the golem. Now I'll prepare the hostiles' turn and I'll let you join them. the first turn of the hostiles, and I want to try with something that might be quite interesting. The priority of the Earth Elemental is the closest enemy, so basically it would be the clan champion. And to hit the clan champion, the Earth Elemental has to walk 4 inches, 1, 2, 3, 4, up to here, to see the clan champion, at least a little bit, so, or in this case it wouldn't see him. Therefore I decide to 1, 2, 3, 4, let the Earth Elemental walk up to here to see the bushy attendant and make a hurl attack at him. And luckily the Kitsune is just out of the small template for the hurl. The bushy attendant has a defense of 12, has a dodge of 12 and an accuracy of 12, similar to the offense of 12 of the Earth Elemental. So one way or another, it will be a straight roll against the same value. And I believe that the bushy attendant will try a confrontation just for the chance to get a lucky shot. The bushy attendant rolls a natural 1, while the Earth Elemental rolls an 18 and fails. So the bushy attendant gets indeed his lucky shot. He needs a 13 or less to wound the Earth Elemental. And it's a 2, and he puts a wound on the Earth Elemental, which does not irritate it. And the Earth Elemental with its 4 inches walks up to here. And once again tries to hurl at the bushy attendant, who once again makes a confrontation roll against the Earth Elemental. The Earth Elemental rolls a 13, which is above its accuracy, or sorry, I did it wrong. The 18 from previously still misses, but since this is accuracy and the Earth Elemental is within 8 inches, it has +4 at its throw, so at its roll. Therefore, a 14 or less is needed, which is indeed a hit. And in this instance, the bushy attendant would have not made a confrontation but a dodge roll. But since I claimed that he will use an attack and confrontation and to make up with the last mistake. So in this instance, the bushy attendant rolled an 8, but is beaten by the 13 of the Earth Elemental. So the Earth Elemental hits this time once again, not within reach of the Kitsune. Now the Earth Elemental's hurl has a power of 16. The bushy attendant has an armor of 4, therefore it needs a 12 or less to wound. With a 15, the bushy attendant is good, and the stagger is not, or does nothing, because he has no activation points left. Now let me just run this Earth Elemental closer to the next enemy. 6, and it will run up to here with its 2 activations. The Gargoyle on the far end has 6, 12, 6, 12, 18 and 20 inches in total. So running 2 times with 10 inches each. And now this golem has the target of the closest enemy, which will be the the clan champion. And also, since it is engaged, it is only allowed to walk towards the clan champion. So now the golem has 2 attacks. The clan champion has also 2 attacks. And the clan champion will use his fencing 1 masterful parry to reduce the golem's offense by 3 points. Therefore, the golem needs a 7 or less to hit, and the clan champion has a defense of 12. So let's see what happens. The clan champion rolls a 5, the golem rolls a 4, and the 19 of the golem and the 17 of the clan champion are both not relevant for this confrontation. And in this instance, the golem would have managed to hit, but the clan champion trumps with a 5 or more, or with a 5. So the clan champion wins. Chance to wound the golem, 5 or less. It's an 11, which is not enough. Coming to the second round, the same procedure as previously. The golem 7 or less, the clan champion 12 or less. The golem fails completely with a 20 and a 13. And the clan champion rolled a 17 and a 4. So with a 4 he is able to hit. Come on, 5 or less. and a 17 is not enough. So, the Earth Elemental got 1 wound, the Golem still has 1 wound, and the others here have no activation, have not activated. The Gargoyle comes closer and the second Golem. So, with this, I'll prepare the next turn and we will see what happens. With the Earth Elemental nearby and with having a line of sight, the clan champion decides once again to use his evasion tactics to increase the dodge of every party member. And it will start with the clan champion, with the Bushi attendant, sorry. The Bushi attendant will walk up to here to have to get cover from this combat and have a line of sight at the Earth Elemental in an attempt to shoot at the Earth Elemental, which will respond by making a hurl action, which is outside of 8 inches, as you can see here. And with this, the Bushi attendant has 2 attacks, the Earth Elemental has 1 hurl. The Earth Elemental, because of the cover, needs a 6 or less, and the Bushi attendant, also because of the cover here and the combat, needs an 8 or less. So, black die 8, white die 6. It's an interesting confrontation. The 12 misses. The 2 of the Earth Elemental is beaten by the 7 of the Bushi attendant, and therefore the Bushi attendant wins. Chance to wound the Earth Elemental, needing a 3 or less. It is indeed a 3. That's surprisingly, but the Earth Elemental gets a 2nd wound. And next, the same Bushi attendant will activate. He will stay where he is because he has an advantageous position. Same roll as previously. This time the Earth Elemental managed to hit with a 6, and the Bushi attendant hits with a 3 and a 12. So with this, the 3 is beaten by the 6. The Earth Elemental hits the Bushi attendant. Power of 16 minus the armor of 4, 12 or less. It's a 10. And with this, the Bushi attendant gets a wound. Excuse me. Now, this Bushi attendant will try to draw out some more wounds from the Earth Elemental. And he will does so. Is there a chance how he can get in cover, but the Earth Elemental is not? No, absolutely not. Therefore, he will just walk 5 inches back to get out of reach of the Earth Element. It doesn't matter, the Earth Element could make an attack earlier. So, in this instance, accuracy of 14. This Bushi attendant will try to dodge, so he will walk 5 inches up to here and dodge 2.5 inches here. And this will also trigger the Earth Elemental's hurl action. 14 against the dodge of 12. The Earth Elemental hits and the Bushi attendant fails to dodge. With this, the Bushi attendant loses his 2nd activation. And is he wounded? With a 15 he's not wounded. A 12 or less would have been needed. Sorry for the bad camera today. I'm not sure what is happening with my tablet, which I use to record. Now, with the Earth Elemental still having a single wound left, I think the Kitsune will do something quite stupid and will try to get the Earth Elemental and the Gargoyle within range. She will walk up to here, activate, and will try to cast the Flare spell, which will activate in a confrontation with the Earth Elemental, and the Gargoyle will try to dodge. So, the Kitsune, is she able to cast the spell? With a 12, she is. The Earth Elemental, is it able to hurl? With an 18, it fails. The Gargoyle trying to dodge. With a 7, it has an agility of 8. It is able to dodge and get into a confrontation and get into contact with the Kitsune. Now, the Kitsune managed to cast her spell, and it has a power of equal to its intelligence, so therefore 14. The Earth Elemental has an armor of 10, 4 less to wound the Earth Elemental. It's a 5, which is just not enough. But I will just look up what the Mystic says once again as a class, because I believe it says that the Mystic can use its instant when casting spells, not for determining its power. So otherwise it would have been beneficial, because then the Kitsune would have been able to wound the Earth Elemental. Now the Kitsune is engaged with the Gargoyle. She could try to... she will try once again to cast the Flare spell. The Gargoyle will react by attacking the Kitsune. Let's see, the Gargoyle, the white die needs a 12 or less, the Kitsune needs a 15 or less. The Gargoyle fails with a 17, but the Kitsune wins with a 5. And just checking, okay, that was not smart. The clan champion is not wounded from the last turn. So now, with the flare going off again, the clan champion with a 12 is not wounded because he has an armor of 5. The Kitsune has a power of 14, so the clan champion is safe. The Gargoyle has an armor of 5, therefore the Kitsune needs a 9 or less. Natural 20, the Gargoyle is also not wounded, and the Earth Element once again needing a 4 or less. It's a 14, so the Kitsune managed to do nothing. Now we have a confrontation here. Or do we? Now the clan champion will try to will make a dodge action to get out of the engage state. The golem will attack with a Fist of Stone. It fails. The clan champion managed to dodge, and the clan champion uses this to get 2.5 inches up to here to be within reach of the Gargoyle, and now he will attack the defenseless creature, and he will use Second Wind and Arms Master to get a total of 4 attacks, 16 or less to hit. It's a 2, a 7, here it is, a 7, an 8 and a 20. The 20 fails. Power 13, armor 5, 8 or less. Here it is, 11 and an 8 and a 19, which is just enough to destroy this Gargoyle too. So the Kitsune was really stupid, just let it put it this way. It was a tactical error of my part to try to put the Gargoyle out with the Kitsune. And I was hoping to get another lucky shot at the Earth Elemental, which will regenerate no wound. But let's see what happens in the next hostile's active turn. Looking at the battlefield, the Earth Elemental has already regained 1 wound, and it will activate to get into contact with the Kitsune Spellmain to attack her. The Kitsune herself will try to dodge, and the Earth Elemental is within 2 inches, which will provoke an activation from the clan champion, who will attack the Earth Elemental. Let's start with the Earth Elemental attacking the Kitsune. Because of the evasive maneuver or tactics, the Kitsune has an agility of 16, the Earth Elemental has an offense of 12. Luckily, the Kitsune rolled a 16, which is just enough to evade the 8 of the Earth Elemental, and the 19 is one way or another. And so the Kitsune will just dodge out of combat, and still the clan champion is allowed to hit. He has 1 strike because of his defense roll, and he will use Second Wind to get a second attack to strike at the Earth Elemental. And these are 2 natural ones, so he has a huge chance to wound the Earth Elemental. 2 13s or less would be nice. It's a 4 and a 14. Sadly, only another wound, not 2. That was a huge chance. Now, the Golem will activate, and these are about 2.5, these are about 2. So this Golem will go to the next hostile, which will be on next opponent, which will be this bushy attendant, to attack him. The golem has an offense of 10. The bushy attendant will try to dodge because he has currently an agility of 12. So let's see what happens. The 14 of the bushy attendant fails to dodge, and the 11 fails to hit. Therefore, the 9 still hits the bushy attendant. Power of 15 minus armor 4, 11 or less. With a 2, this bushy attendant is incapacitated and out. Then this golem will activate and get to the next bushy attendant, who will also try to dodge. Yeah, we don't have to talk about it. With an 18 and a 15, the golem fails to hit, and the bushy attendant rolled a 19. He fails to dodge. The only thing that he's able to do is get 2.5 inches away, so going up to here. Now this earth elemental will walk 6 inches and get around here, and then it will activate again, get into contact with the clan champion, who in turn will try to attack the earth elemental. The golem has 2 strikes. The clan champion only 1, but he will use his fencing 1 to reduce the offense of the golem by 3. So the golem needs 7 or less, and the clan champion needs 12 or less. Yeah, the golem rolls a natural 1 and an 8. With this, the golem has at least 1 hit. The clan champion rolled an 18, which fails completely. The golem ignores the armor, but a roll of 18 is above its power of 15. Therefore here, nothing happens. Now let's see, the earth elemental can choose. It will choose the kitsune once again to hit her. And the kitsune tries to dodge. 2 earthen fists against 1 agility roll of 16. The earth elemental, despite it failing with a 13 and a 15, the kitsune rolled a 4, so the earth elemental failed anything it could, and the kitsune dodges up to here, 3 inches away. Now, I don't think that I have to stop the recording. This is done relatively quickly. Putting back the activation token. The clan champion will, I believe once again, he will try to use the evasion tactics to increase the agility, just to try to keep the kitsune safe. And this might be bad, because when he activates, these 2 will activate, and the kitsune is basically useless currently. Can he do something? He can try to attack the earth elemental and get once again a lucky shot. He will activate first. He will walk 5 inches around to get to this position. Attack the earth elemental, which will respond with a hurl on its own. The bushy attendant has 2 strikes. The earth elemental has 1 hurl. 14 or less, 12 or less. 16 fails, and a 5 and a 4 both hit. Now he needs a 3 or less to wound the earth elemental. It's a 4 and a 19, so nothing. Now the bushy attendant once again activates. He will again shoot at the earth elemental, which will hurl a rock back. A 19 fails, another 19 fails for the bushy attendant, but a 6 of the bushy attendant hits, 3 or less to wound. 16 fails. But he managed to draw out 2 activation points out of the earth elemental. And the kitsune could activate to hit this golem, the earth elemental, the clan champion, and the bushy attendant, which is not an attractive position. So the clan champion will activate and try to dodge. The earth elemental will try to hurl, and the stone golem will attack the the clan champion. The golem has a natural 1, which is not good. The earth elemental holds a 7, which would be enough to hit. The clan champion trying to dodge a 17, which is a total disaster. So the natural 1 of the earth elemental, 15 or less to wound. It's a 6, puts a wound on the clan champion. Because he's hit with a hurl action, he is already staggered, losing his second activation points, and now 11 or less for another wound. It's a 14, which is not enough. He's still able to dodge. He will dodge up to here, but he's unable to activate again. Now the Kitsune. First action is that she will walk a little bit closer and activate now her flare. She can go here and hit 2 of them. Let's stay of 3 inches here, not within reach of the bushy attendant. Here he's outside. Now the earth elemental will hurl and the golem will dodge. The golem will try to dodge with a 16. He failed. The earth elemental will try to hurl with a 17. It fails, and now the Kitsune with a 15 or less. With a 4, she was successfully, at least at this attempt. Now trying to hurt the golem. Armor of 8, power of 14, 6 or less. It's a natural 1. The golem gets a wound. Let me just check the construct rule. Cannot be affected by the following, and burn is written on it, so it is not suffering from the burn. The earth elemental needing a 4 or less. It's a 15, which is not enough. Now the Kitsune will activate. She will run 4 inches, 5. That's stupid, because now then it would be within reach, but it is engaged. Okay, no, it's still fine, because the earth elemental is engaged. She will try to cast the... She has to stay here, because then otherwise she has no line of sight. She will try to cast Burning Resolve at the clan champion. With the 2, she was successful. Now the clan champion tries with 4 attacks to hopefully destroy the earth elemental. It's a long shot, but it might be the only chance for the party to get out of this. 2 10s, a 15, and an 18. The 18 fails, but the other 3 hit. Now he needs a 3 or less to wound the earth elemental. 7, 15, 14. So this was a real inefficient turn. And I will go right to the hostiles' turn. Just turning these around. Giving the party their activation points. And let's start with the earth elemental, which will activate and attack the bushy attendant, the clan champion. Sorry for mixing up him and putting him down a few ranks, I believe. Now the earth elemental has 2 strikes. The the clan champion has 1 strike. Both are currently at 12. The clan champion will use his Masterful Parry to reduce the earth elemental's offense to 9. Let's see what's happening. The 11 fails to hit thanks to the fencing vulnerability. The 2 will hit. I'm not sure why it fails to get into focus, but the clan champion with a 5 managed to win this confrontation. So the clan champion has a chance 3 or less. With a 2, he actually puts a wound on the earth elemental, which would have just regenerated 1 wound previously, so it stays at 2. And now let's see if he can repeat this feat. Same procedure as previously. Now the earth elemental managed to hit with a 7, but fails to hit with a 17, and the 3 is not enough to win this confrontation. The earth elemental is hitting the clan champion, needing an 11 or less to wound. Natural 20 fails to wound the clan champion. Focusing on the closest enemy, this golem runs towards the Kitsune with 4 inches. He fails to get into contact, and in his next activation he will once again walk, not once again, he will walk into contact with the Kitsune, who will make a dodge to avoid the Fist of Stone. The golem needs a 10 or less, the Kitsune needs a 16 or less to dodge. And since the Kitsune rolled an 8, manages to dodge the 4 and a 16. And the Kitsune is allowed to dodge 3 inches, which you will use to get away. Not being the closest model anymore, this is about 5 inches, this is about 3. Poor clan champion. This Earth Elemental is not within 2 inches, just by the margin, so it will run, but its second activation will be hitting the clan champion, who is defenseless because he's out of action. With a 9 and a 17, he is able to hit him once. Now he needs an 11 or less to wound. It's a natural 1 and the clan champion gets a second wound. Not looking good so far. I will quickly prepare the next turn and we will see how this continues. Once again, the clan champion will use the evasion tactics, and this time he will also get into a defense stance, just to hopefully survive a little bit better in the hostile's next turn. Beginning this turn does the Kitsune, not the Kitsune, the Bushy Attendant, who will walk 5 inches, getting out of reach, and he will attack this golem, who will try to dodge the arrows. The golem needs a 6 or less, the Bushy Attendant a 12 or less. The golem has an 18, he fails to dodge, but the 5 is able to hit, the 15 fails, so this is 1.5 inches closer to the Bushy Attendant. The Bushy Attendant still can try to hurt him. Power of 13 minus 8, so therefore he would have needed a 5 or less. A 6 is just not enough. The Bushy Attendant will wait a second for the Kitsune Spell Maiden to... Yeah, okay, that was not so great as I thought it would be. The Kitsune will go up to here, within 3 inches of the Earth Elemental and within 3 inches of the Golem, but not within 3 inches of the Bushy. Now the Earth Elemental has to dodge. The Golem here has also to dodge, because the Kitsune tries to make a flare. Let's see, the Earth Elemental rolls a 10, therefore fails. This Golem rolls a 16, therefore fails. Is the Kitsune able to cast the spell at all? With a 5 she is. Now the Earth Elemental dodges 2 inches up to here, still within reach of the clan champion. And with 1 inch it is now within reach of the Kitsune. So within contact, and the Golem dodges up to half an inch, is not within reach. Now trying to wound these two. Against the Golem it's a natural 1, which would have been better against the Earth Elemental, which is a 17, not enough. Now the Kitsune, will the Kitsune activate or will the clan champion activate? The Earth Elemental is not engaged anymore, which is a huge problem. Now let's start with the Bushy Attendant, who will shoot. Will he shoot? The Earth Elemental can now attack with its earthen fists. And the Kitsune, it has an offense of 12, and the Kitsune has an agility of 16 and casting value because of a moral of 15. Yeah, the Kitsune will, since she's engaged, she would be only allowed to walk closer to the Earth Elemental, which she is not really a fan of. Actually, since the Kitsune is engaged with the Earth Elemental, the Earth Elemental is engaged with... okay, right now. The Earth Elemental is engaged with the Clan Champion, therefore it is not allowed to make any hurl actions, which is great. So the Bushy Attendant will walk 5 inches up to here and shoot at the Earth Elemental. The Earth Elemental will try to dodge closer to him. Let's see what happens. With a 6, the Earth Elemental managed to dodge the 10 and the 5 of the Bushi. But the main goal was that the Earth Elemental will walk up to here, closer to the Bushi Attendant, and therefore getting the Kitsune out of the engaged state. Now the Kitsune is free to walk again, and this might be really suicidal. She can go up to here, outside of 3 inches to the clan champion, within reach of this golem, not the clan champion, the Earth Elemental, and the other golem. Not engaged currently. And she will try to cast Flare, which will he cannot react. This one will react with a dodge. The Earth Elemental will react with a dodge because it is still engaged with the clan champion. The golem rolled a 3, manages to dodge unless it is a critical hit. The Earth Elemental rolls a 16, failed to dodge. This one is unable to dodge. Is the Kitsune able to cast the spell with a 15? Barely, but it is enough. So this golem, 1.5 inches closer. The Earth Elemental now with 2 inches is within contact of the Kitsune, but failed to dodge. So the Earth Elemental, is it wounded? With a roll of 7, it is not wounded. This golem, is it wounded? With a roll of 19, is also not wounded. Now the clan champion will attack the Earth Elemental. He has only 1 strike, but Arms Master, he will get a second 1 strike because he's in the defense stand. The Earth Elemental has only 1 strike to react with its defense of 14. And it fails with a 19. The clan champion rolled a 20 and a 3. Therefore the clan champion hits once, needing a 3 or less. It's an 11. The Earth Elemental once again dodges into contact. And now the Earth Elemental is without any defense. The clan champion will use this to strike at the Earth Elemental, same as previously. 1 attack because of defense stand, 1 attack because of his Arms Master. Sorry, last time he had a 3rd attack, 16 would have hit, and with 11 he would fail, and now second wind. Does he hit all 3? 2, 4, and 14. These are 3 hits, needing 3 or less to wound. 4, 3, and 11. He has a 3rd wound. I will not put it on because the Earth Elemental will just regenerate it in the next turn. So I prepare it and we will see what happens in the hostile's turn. Let's see what happens if this golem challenges the Kitsune. The Kitsune will try to get into a confrontation with the golem, or to be more precise, she will not try to make an attack of opportunity, so the golem walks into it. And this will be a confrontation, the golem with 2 attacks, the Kitsune with only 1 to cast the flare spell. The golem fails with a 15 and a 19, but the Kitsune wins with a 5. It might have been a huge win if the Kitsune would have been hit by the golem, but this causes this golem, and the Earth Elemental to be hit. The golem who initiated all of this, is it wounded? With the 3, it is actually wounded, and with this also destroyed. That was a good strike so far. Looking at this golem, is it wounded? With another 3, it is wounded. That was a great flare. And now the Earth Elemental, needing a 4 or less to wound. It's a 6. Sadly, no damage on the Earth Elemental. As I said, the Earth Elemental regenerated the 3rd wound. Now, this golem has to activate. It will go to the clan champion, which will provoke an attack of opportunity from the Kitsune. It's a flare, which goes successfully off. Is the golem wounded? With a 15, it is not wounded. Is the Earth Elemental wounded? With a natural 1, the Earth Elemental is wounded. And now let me see if the Elemental trait also provides an immunity to fire. Stagger Vampirism Mind Game. It cannot be affected by Charm or Toxic, and it cannot enter Bleeding, Poison, or Weakened states. So it is not immune against the Burning 2. And the Burning 2 is with a 6 enough to wound the Earth Elemental. I will just check if the flare has indeed Burning 2. Give me a second. I will just put down my tablet for a moment to have both hands to skim through the rulebook. Art of Conjuration it isn't, but Kitsune no Mai, and here Burning, it is absolutely not in focus, but it's indeed Burn 2. Therefore the roll 6 and 16 is legit, and with this the Earth Elemental gets a 4th wound and is finally destroyed. That was a, I would assume, game deciding burn, and all of this because this golem caused an attack of opportunity, and the actual action will be respawned by the clan champion, who has 2 strikes because defense stand. He will reduce the golem's offense or hit by 3 because fencing 1, and now the golem has 2 strikes, so the golem needs a 7, the clan champion needs a 12. The clan champion rolled 2 13s, the golem a 9 and a 4, so the golem hits once, and with a 3 it is able to wound the clan champion, who now goes down and is also incapacitated. With this, the golem is allowed to walk into contact with the now defenseless Kitsune, but this provokes a shot from the Bushi attendant, who manages to hit with a 2. Is he able to wound? He needs a total of 5 or less. 17, it is not enough. Now the golem is attacking the Kitsune with a 6 and a 12. The 6 is enough to hit. Is he able to wound the Kitsune? All in all, he needs only a 14 or less. With a natural 20, the Kitsune is still alive. Immediately jumping into the next activation of the Empire of Soga. The Kitsune against the golem, and the Bushi attendant is also there. It all begins with the Kitsune trying to dodge. The golem will make an attack in an attempt to strike the Kitsune. With a 2, the Kitsune managed to dodge the otherwise successful hit of the golem. She will move 3 inches away. Now, the Bushi attendant will try to attack the golem, who is forced to dodge. Let's see what happens. The Bushi fails to hit and the golem fails to dodge, so this is an absolute fumble from all sides. Now, the Kitsune should have, she only dodged, she should have another activation point. I just took it. So the Kitsune will actually wait with her activation point, second one. The Bushi attendant will walk a little bit back and then tries to shoot at the golem once again. A 4 is enough to hit, the 16 is not, and an 11 is far from wounding the golem. Now the Kitsune will walk 6 inches up to here, spend her activation point to cast Burning Resolve at the Bushy Attendant. With the 12 it is enough. The Bushy Attendant will walk a little bit to the side, a little bit more, or he will stay where he is, and he will shoot at the golem. 4 and 5 are 2 hits. Now he needs the same roll again, 5 or less. 17 and 12, not enough. Jumping right into the hostile's turn. Let's see who will be able to win this. Since the Bushy Attendant is the closest, the golem will run, because it is more than 2 inches, will run towards it, towards the Bushy Attendant, who will react by shooting at the golem. Attack of opportunity, the Kitsune Spellman will stay where she is. One attack of the Bushy. With the 3 he successfully hits, and with the 11 he fails to wound. Now the golem will try to attack the Bushy Attendant, who will try to dodge. Only with a 10. He fails to dodge and the golem is able to land 1 hit. And with an 8 the golem is also able to wound the Bushy Attendant, who is still able to dodge out of this combat. Now coming right back into the activation of the Empire of Soga. The Bushy Attendant once again walks a little bit to the side and tries to shoot the golem, who will try to dodge. Here we go. The golem with a 6 manages to dodge the 2 of the Bushy Attendant. Now the Kitsune Spellmaiden will activate. She will walk within 3 inches of the golem, try to cast Flare. The golem will try to dodge. The golem also successfully dodges this one. Now it's out of activations. The Kitsune will wait. The Bushy Attendant, from where he is, will try to shoot at the defenseless golem. With a 5 and a 10, 2 hits. 17 and 11, there is no wound at the golem. Now the Kitsune will walk 6 inches up to here. She will cast Burning Resolve at the Bushy Attendant, which was successfully with a 10. 2 shots at the golem, 18 and 8, and a 9 is still not enough to wound. I will save up the activation points because the golem will run at the Kitsune. The Kitsune will cast a Flare and the Bushy Attendant will shoot. Bushy Attendant will shoot. 16 is not enough. Kitsune casting the Flare outside. She will dodge. So into contact, she will dodge away. Golem once again will this time walk into contact. The Bushy Attendant will nevertheless attack of opportunity. A 3 is a hit. 15 fails to wound. Now the Kitsune has to dodge. Agility of 14. Fails. The golem is able to hit the Kitsune 2 times. And with a 13 is just enough to wound the Kitsune. And with this the Kitsune is also incapacitated. Now the Bushy Attendant has to kite the golem. With this in mind, he will walk 5 inches back, shoot at the golem, who will try to dodge. The golem fails. The Bushy Attendant hit once with an 8. 19 is not enough. 1.5 inches. Another 1.5 inches, while the Bushy Attendant once again kites 5 inches away to shoot at the golem. With a 4 and 11, he managed to hit both. The golem fails with a 12. 15 and 12 is not enough. The golem with 8 inches of total reach would be not able to reach the Bushy Attendant, But the bushy attendant will only shoot once at the golem. With an 11 he hits. With an 18 he fails to wound. Because 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. It is up to here. The bushy attendant will use this to dodge 2.5 inches away. Now let's put a pin into it and analyze it. The bushy attendant is able to walk 5 inches and shoot. The golem has 4 and has 1.5 inches to close up. So I don't believe that the golem is able to get to the bushy attendant, while the bushy attendant can shoot as its first reaction, dodge as its second, then walk a total of 10 inches in its own turn and shoot 4 times, so a total of 12.5 inches every turn and shooting 5 times. The golem, if he runs 2 times, is at 8, and it dodges 2 times, is at 11. So the bushy attendant is always 1.5 inches away from the golem, so the golem is unable to catch up. So basically, the bushy attendant is able to make a run around while shooting at the golem, and the golem will sooner or later fall from the arrows of the bushy attendant. With this in mind, I think I will just declare this a narrow win for the Empire of Soga with only a bushy attendant standing. And with this, afterwards, the bushy attendant will just walk or run up to the portal, and I will clean up this board. I will clean up the board, and let's see how the game ended. Okay, after action report. After the last mission or quest, the party had a total of 9 victory points remaining after they revived the clan champion and put one of the bushy attendants back to full health. So, how much victory points did the party get this time? They did not open any cache, therefore this is still closed. It was too risky, I think. So, with destroying the tier 3 hostile, they earned 3, getting up to 12. The 2 tier 1s, also the 2 tier 2s, granted 2 victory points each, so therefore a total of +7, and the tier 1 hostiles granted +1 victory point, so a total of 9, which they would have normally won, but -1 for each model, for each player loses 1 victory point for each opponent party member they put into the incapacitated state. So this is nothing. Oh, sorry. Then in this instance they didn't have 9, they had 10, because I calculated the -1 from the last quest, where they also would have lost 1 if they had put out an opponent's party member. If an alliance is broken, okay, there was no alliance broken. And in this instance, still 9 points towards it, so they have a total of 19. And before they start with the obelisk, they are still able to make another campfire, and the sole bushy attendant is able to spend victory points to revive party members. He needs a total of 15 because 3 of his party members are down, so from the 19 he will have 4 victory points left, but none of his party members are incapacitated. And also there is they feel a great unease when a figure looming in the corner of the space introduce itself as the broker, and it grants a party to purchase upgrades. You can choose to purchase any upgrade. They are 1 point more expensive than usual. You can also purchase Earthbreaker bombs and Scroll of Superior Mending as explained in the beginning, for 5 points each. And since he is not specified how you can buy these, because there is no chance that it says okay for victory points, I assume that it is meant for the victory points. I have 4 point. I can buy up to a 4 point upgrade, 3 point upgrade,
And the next quest is about an obelisk with armor 5 and 5 hit points. It can be targeted as an action and is destroyed if it reaches 0 hit points. It is considered repaired if 2 healing type spells are successfully cast on it. Special end condition: the quest ends when the obelisk is either repaired or destroyed. Therefore, the Kitsune has a healing spell, so the Kitsune might try to repair the obelisk. And while 2 earth elementals and colossus are on the field, so this might be quite interesting. I will think about what I will do with the 4 victory points, maybe buy an upgrade. And otherwise, I hope you enjoyed this Let's Play, and I'll see you the next time. Bye!